Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew, and welcome to Prison Architect. And if you have watched the video that I released yesterday about the October update, you guys will know exactly what this is. This is actually going to be a kind of a challenge series that we're going to go ahead and take part in for the time. Now, exactly what kind of a challenge series this is going to be? Well, frankly enough, it is simply going to be a challenge series about creating a high max prison or a high security prison. So we're not going to be having any minimum security and we're not going to have any medium security. So hopefully you guys are ready to get that taken care of. So enjoy the video. So I just got done setting up what our prison is actually going to look like. We're going to keep Fog of War on, we're going to have forests generated, and we are also going to have failure conditions turned on as well. And then I do have a couple mutators enabled. I got the fast walking mutator enabled just so that our staff and everyone can actually move a bit faster. That also does impact our prisoners, so we got to keep an eye on that. And then we have no contraband limits. There's not going to be any limits on like guns or even like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. We get extra reputation unlocked from when prisoners enter into our prison, so we're going to know a little bit more about them just so that way we can figure out what it is that makes them tick. And then, of course, this is something that I feel like a lot of people have on wild growth. Trees can spread and will grow much faster than normal. So that's what we're going to play as. We are also going to have Rita as our Warden for this, and we are not going to have Warden mode turned on because I'm actually going to run this slightly differently. So I'm going to quickly pause the game here, and I'm going to run you guys through with what my idea is in the terms of planning, that is. So the prison itself is going to be pretty self-explanatory. In fact, I did do like a test draft of this just to make sure that I got everything situated. So I'm going to go and pull that up on my second screen. That way I actually know what I'm looking at. So the prison itself is pretty self-explanatory. Nothing too major, to be honest. We are going to have some security checkpoints here and there, and then we are going to have the basic administration center that we're going to start off with first. So the security checkpoints are going to be pretty self-explanatory. We are going to have, I think the first one starts here. No, right there. And then this needs to be that. And I know I'm copying actually a test design, but this is kind of on purpose. Um, that's 4. That's 5 actually. Okay. And I think that should be okay. Now, if I recall correctly, our trucks will be able to actually move in here nice and securely. That will actually be a good checkpoint right there for all of the vehicles. All of these are going to, of course, have the vehicle gates, so I'm just going to do that as reference. Now, what is this going to be? This is actually going to be just a security. We're not going to have it be too big. We are going to have it be pretty decent in terms of size comparison. So we'll go ahead and deal with it as it comes along. So I need to go and get a 4 unit there with a 1 gap. And then that needs to match up to right there. And there we go. Now I do want to go with the same formula that I've done with other prisons about having an exterior wall where we have dog handlers at. Um, and that is something that's going to play a crucial part. So let me see here. Leave this next part that we're going to look at is going to be pretty lengthy. It's, I believe, 20. Yeah, it looks like 20 right there. That or at least that part is 20, whichever one. Um, okay, well, actually, we can go ahead and take a look down this side as well. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing mirrored from the top side. There's going to be some slight differences, of course, between the top side and downside, but that's what is expected, right? We need to have some differences, of course. So I am just taking a quick look at my reference guide once again. And we want to have it be about right here. So let's go and bring you like that. And then just bring you along there. 5 right there. And then just bring you along here. And then we're going to have another 4 right there. And have wall. And then we want to have this come down to here. That's going to be all of our doors right there where we have the 1 gaps. And then, of course, our security gates. So next up, we're going to need to get kind of like the entryway in here. Now this area right here is going to be actually part of the detention center, so bear this in mind with me. Okay, so I only need to go 10 up from here, and then 1 more, and now I'll actually leave into the staff room. And then our staff room is just going to have a straight wall. That's a 5 wide, yep. And we are going to need to have some offices over here. That's going to be, yeah, it's going to work. Let's just go and bring straight along here. Now there is going to be a total of 6 offices here. We're going to have one for lawyer, or a lawyer, an accountant, and we are going to have one of our warden, psychologists, a chief, and our foreman. So all of them will be playing a crucial role in this prison, as it's how pretty much most prisons have to be. So there is our actual layout for the start of the basic detention center. And then we are going to want to bring you up here. We're going to pretty much mirror the design that we have on the first floor, kind of, or first half of the staff room on this side. So then what we're going to need to have is have a gap in between right there, and then have a wall there. I think I need to actually cut that off a little bit. Have a 2 gap with another wall right there. Have 2 and then a door right there. This will actually be our reception area. And we're going to have a double barrier door right here, just so that way it makes it a little bit more secured. And we are going to be okay with that then. Now, I think that we're going to need to have a gap right there, and then we can connect to our outer walls. Perfect. Okay, so that's just the front of the prison right there. That's pretty much just the front of the prison taken care of. Then we're going to need to get this taken care of as well. Let me look at the reference photo here real quick. Trying to keep this as close as I can to be a realistic dimension. Get our walls going right here. And then we're going to get a 10 by 10, I believe. Yeah, 10 by 10. There we go. And then we are going to need to get a wall put in place going from right here down to here. And then we are going to need to have the more plans. Yes, more plans. We always need the more plans. So we're going to need to have that wall right there. We are going to have a 5 by 5 area, I believe. Yep, right about here. Just making it a 7 by 7 is a 5 in the center. And that should also be... Ooh, that's a 7 by 8. Did I mess up my measurements? No, I think that's actually on purpose. Kinda, actually. No, that's supposed to be right there. So yeah, I am 1 unit off with all these. I'll get that fixed. So what these two are pretty much going to be is the most likely shop and library, because shop and library both have a 5 by 5 space needed for it. And we are actually going to have the doors be pretty much in the top left-hand space. Because right here, we're going to have a cleaning cupboard. And that lines up directly to right here. And we are going to have that connect up to what this area will be, which is going to be the workshop. So I'm just going to get that put in there. Now, Am I correct in saying that's, yeah, it does need to actually be moved. So let's actually go ahead and get you guys moved along here. Now the reason that it has to be moved is because we're gonna have our station like right over here. So we want to have it close, just not too close. Okay, and there, and I think like right there, and there we got it. Okay, so I think that should actually fix up my mistake, and we should be all good to go. Now I do apologize if my voice does sound a bit raspy. I should have apologized for that earlier actually. But I've been having to go through a lot of medical pains over the past couple of days, and I think this is just one of the side effects to it. Hopefully, though, it's not going to affect me too badly. I am anticipating that it's going to be pretty straightforward in terms of recovery. And when I mean recovery, I mean like because I had to go in for a medical surgery yesterday, and frankly, I didn't feel comfortable with it at all. In fact, if you watch the video that was released yesterday, you will know all about what happened. So right here is just going to be our utilities room. We got a 3x3 and a 5x5 right there. Let's get you guys out of the way. And then right here is just going to be our kitchen. Our kitchen is going to be right next to the utility room, but on the opposite side of the wall. And then coming up here, this is actually going to be our storage room. And there we have it. And we can get three cookers and three fridges along with one sink. So most likely what we'll have in there is just three cooks, all working very adamantly to go in and make sure that everything is taken care of. So we're gonna need to have a 5. No, we're having a 6 right there and a 6 right there. And we're gonna have walls on either side of those. Now right here, I'm gonna have some metal detectors because we want to make sure that our people that are in the workshop aren't taking anything out of the workshop and bringing it into their cells. That's what the metal detectors will be there for. Right up here, though, we're not going to have some medical detectors or metal detectors. Ugh, words are hard right now. So we will just go and leave that as is. In fact, yeah, I think I messed up on that a little bit. Whoops. Let's go and get you right there, there, and then come on, give me the wall. Thank you. And I think we can start off with the tables. So we're going to need to get 4 sets of tables, and they're going to pretty much go like so. Just four 4x3 tables right here, and then in between we're going to have some 2x3s because we now do have the small benches and small tables, so that can actually come inside of here. And let's see. And then we want to go and extend you down there, extend you down to there. In fact, you're going to go ahead and be extended to there. You guys are going to go up there and go up to there. Good. So I kind of am leaving that space right here on purpose because I want to have that be accessible only to the yard. So once when you are able to go into the yard, that is the only way through to the yard. The yard's actually going to be a pretty decent size. Let's see here. So next up, we actually got to plan out our holding cell and reception. The holding cell itself will be pretty small. We're not going to intend to have a lot of people there. We are going to intend to have just a couple people there at the start. So we are going to keep that moving here. And then what we want to have is, what, a wall right here? Yep. And we're going to have a door right here leading into the shower room. So the shower room is pretty small, but that's on purpose because we don't want to have them taking showers in here if we can. So if we can make it so that way they're not having to be put into the shower room for long periods of time, then that will work perfectly fine. And then we're going to have 4 toilets right there, one for each bed. Most likely these will be bunk beds, so that will make things a bit different. Now this area is going to be the reception. We're going to have 4 wide or 4 tables, all like so. And then go ahead and close off the wall right here. And then you see how we have this door opening space right here? We're going to have another one right there, and that's going to lead into the visitation center. Just so that way we actually have a space for all of our visitors to enter in through. That can connect to right there. Get rid of you. And there we go. Okay, so you're kind of starting to see what I'm going for here in terms of the detention center. So what we're going to need to do now is actually go ahead and get this part right here taken care of. Once when I hit this wall, it actually just makes a little inlet right here. So this area right here is going to be empty for a time. Just we don't know what we're going to put there yet. Now, one thing I will have right here, metal detectors. We don't want people bringing stuff in to what this area will be, which is the cell block. We're going to have one massive cell block that has a total of like 4 showers in it. It's going to be very, very interesting to go and deal with it. Let's see though. So first off, visitation. So visitation is going to be something kind of important. We're only going to have one visitor table because we don't really have enough space to do anything else. And we're also going to have parole pretty much right next to the visitation center. Then let's go and have parole be about like right here. And then have you come down that way. And then we need to have the parole be 5 by 5. So right here should be good. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. So that is good right there. We want to have a door right there as well. And then we're going to have a door right here. And that's going to most likely lead into our common room. Common room is just going to have some chairs and tables in it. Nothing too spectacular because we are going to have Alcoholics Anonymous in there. Or AA meetings, I should say. And I think that this is a... What's the size on that? Looks to be a 6 by 6. Or 6 by 7, actually. Because this right here is a 7. And this right here, 6. So that is perfect. So that's going to be our common room. Right next door to the common room is actually going to be a classroom. And our classroom is going to be pretty small. We don't need it to be pretty big either. And I'm going to have 2 rows of classroom desks. And of course, a table for the teacher. So there's that front half completed. Right here is going to be pretty much where the chapel is. So have a 4 space right there, 1 gap, another 4 space, and then we are going to bring you in about 7, right? 7, and then have 1 here at the bottom, right here. And the way the chapel is going to work is that there's going to be 2 rows of pews, the altar right there, and then some pray mats off to the side. Of course, the door right there as well. And then right above the chapel is actually going to be a medical ward. So we're going to bring the medical ward straight up to here. This is actually going to line up straight to that. We're going to need to get you going right here. And then we want to have our medical beds right here. It's going to be a small ward, but oh well, we don't need it to be too big. And then right above it is going to be the morgue. So I think hopefully you guys are able to see what's going on so far. If you guys need a moment to take a look at that, you guys can. Take a screenshot if you need to. And let's do it. Okay. So next up is going to be the cells and solitary. Cells and solitary are going to be pretty simple as well. We're not going to do anything too major. So we're not going to do like elaborate dormitory styles. We're going to be doing single doors. So we're not going to have anything like crazy in here. We want to have that right there. And then we'll just bring you along here. And then that is going to be all of our solitary cells. Okay. Now we're not going to be able to put any solitary cells on this side because that's where the chapel is, so we don't want to mess with that. And yes, I do know that there's this big open space right here, but that is left to be there, open up on purpose. I don't really have any plans for it, as pretty much I have all the rooms planned out already. Next up is the actual prison itself. So we're going to have a good amount of cell space. Not a lot, but a good amount. So what I'm going to do first is just going to get a 30-meter wall right along the bottom. And the same goes for top, so that way it's actually matching up. So 41 is what I should be looking at. And let's go and actually get this started. So we want to get a 4 by 5 each time we go and plan these out. And then we want to go ahead and get, there we go. So the cells are just going to be these 2 by 3 areas that have a bed right here, because we want to make sure that the bed head is on the same side that the cell door is at, so that way the guards can actually see that yes, they are in there, and they're not doing anything like shenanigans wise. That's going to be pretty much the layout right there, basic layout that is. And then let's go ahead and get that going right there. It goes right there. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do this real quick, and I shall be back in a moment. Okay, guys, so that is the cell block right there completed for you guys. Now, here comes the next part. The next part is going to be pretty much just getting the perimeter figured out. So the perimeter itself is pretty straightforward, actually. We're not doing anything too strenuous, so that's pretty good as well. And you remember how I showed you guys we had the 10 by 10 down here in the very leftmost corner? We're going to be pretty much doing the same thing, but instead, it's going to be slightly different. So I'm just going to get a 10, that right there, and then I need to go and have this come down in a 10 by 10 area. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. And then we want to have this come straight down to here. I know this kind of seems a bit excessive, but it is going to be important nonetheless. Let's go ahead and get, let's see, where is this one at? This one is right there. And you. Ooh, okay, I actually need to draw out the yard a little bit as well. So the yard is actually going to just be from that corner down to right there and then up to here. This is going to be the entire yard. It's not going to have any access to the cell block. It's only going to have access to the canteen. So it's going to be the only way for them to actually get in and out of the yard, which is actually a really good theory to go off of. And then we want to have this kind of like a uh, wall right here, because we're going to have some forestry going along as well. Forestry itself is going to be pretty self-explanatory. I think that these are both going to be 5 by 5s. Yeah, and then this spot right here should be left blank. Although I think that's a bit smaller than what I had anticipated it being. Yeah, actually it is. How is that? I accidentally make a miscalculation in my steps? Possibly. That is quite possible, actually. Yes, it is, actually, because I needed to actually get a wall going along here. And we need to have a door. Is that 3? Yeah, that's 3. So right there. That's actually going to be a staff entry only door. And then we want to have a wall coming along here. And then just another wall coming along here. So that's the reason why it's a little bit off than what I expected it to be. So let's go and just fix that up real quick. And we should see that, yep, it matches up perfectly to what I thought we had. So, now is the top perimeter wall, which is gonna possibly be pretty much identical to the bottom perimeter wall. Nothing too crazy though. Just zoom out of my picture here real quick. It's just gonna be a straight wall connecting the 2 points. Oh, not mean to do that. Go. And it looks like these will be coming along right here. Matching up that door and matching up there. So that's going to be the basic layout of the entire prison. So that's what we're going to go off of with this Supermax prison. We're not going to have any medium or min security prisoners. We are only going to have max and high security prisoners. So that is what we're going to base it off of. Of course, this area is going to be forestry. This is going to be yard, our whole cell block, canteen, common, chapel, morgue, medical ward, visitation and parole, holding cell with holding cell shower, reception, office and administration area, and then this is going to be like the prison labor stuff, along with over here, and then workshop right here. Now, we are going to need to get a exports going over here. Let's go and grab our exports tool. Don't know where that came from. We're all going to have these 5x10. So garbage, we want to expand you to be 5x10 as well. That just matches up with the deliveries and deliveries. Let's go and expand you to be 5x10 as well. That works. So there we have it, people. That is our entire prison planned out. It is exactly to the dimensions that I was hoping it would work out to be. And let's actually go ahead and call that an episode here. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and take out the first grants for this entire challenge. So we're going to take out the basic detention center and the administration center. Those are the only two that we really need to focus on right now. The others we'll focus on at a later point in time. Aside from that note, ladies and gents, we will get back to you on this challenge series on Wednesday. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure to go and subscribe. Check the sub feeds for the post on this, and if you are a Patreon or Twitch subscriber, you get early access to these videos. Anyway, I will catch you guys for the next one. Have a good one, everyone. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard.